You know, in this channel, you always hear something a little bit different. You always hear thought leadership. And today, I'm going to discuss this topic of possibility that there's going to be a V-shaped rebound once COVID-19 is arrested. You know, this COVID-19 thing has really spooked the markets. And of course, you are also wondering, why did the market crash so severely? And part of the reason why is because, as you see over here, exponential growth. And this is only the US chart. As you can see over here, cases are exponentially growing, and that's really spooking the market. Not only that, US is really being behind the curve in terms of arresting the growth, the spread of this virus, and that's really going to cause a lot of economic shutdowns, even in US itself, which is actually the biggest contributor in GDP towards the world. The other thing about this is, if you look at this chart over here, you realize that, for example, asset managers, UOB, they've mentioned that they expected a rebound in second half of the year. They did not anticipate that the spread in Hubei will actually go global. But if you understand the virus well enough, if you study the initial trace of it, you kind of suspect that this can really be viral, this can really go around. And I don't know why they had this assumption that things will not be able to spread that widely to the western side of the world. Maybe SARS did not go to the western side of the world, they assumed that will not be the case. On the other hand, you also see that they are pushing back the expectations of a rebound towards the later part of second half of the year, or if not to next year. And that's really going to drive down sentiment, that's going to drive down valuations. So if this topic interests you, why is the market coming down, and as well as why there's a chance that there's a V-shaped rebound. And towards the end of the video, I'll also be sharing with you where to exactly invest into it. If this topic interests you, continue watching on. Hi guys, welcome back. This crisis is very different from the global financial crisis. There is actually a banking crisis, which is a demand side. But now this is a supply chain crisis. And when it comes to supply crisis, no matter how much monetary stimulus there is in the market, supply is still going to be restricted because simply people are unable to work, people are unable to produce goods and services. And previously I have a video that showed that many companies have actually unable to actually do production in China. That included Apple, that included Tesla. And when products run through these countries, they are unable to get completed and everybody suffers losses. So this is one main reason why markets are being spooked. But I'll also highlight two countries that suggest that if you are able to contain the virus, you are able to rebound very quickly, you're able to get back people into the workforce very quickly. And the first one starts with Taiwan. If you look at this report, it shows that Taiwan, Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong have been able to flatten this epidemiology curve because spread is not going as viral as many parts of the country. And the first curious question you may also have is, why is Taiwan so anxious or so up to speed as to dealing with the virus itself? If you look at history, you realize that they have actually suffered tremendously during SARS. They are the third country in terms of number of losses, fatality rate. They have the highest rates over there, 21.1% if you look over here. Taiwanese remember SARS very clearly, much more than any country. That is why they are very resourceful when it comes to tackling this problem. The first thing that I realized looking through internet, there's something that I have to share with you. They actually stopped mass exportation very early on. And in addition to that, government actually went in to step up, encourage manufacturers to double, triple their production and to provide ample supply of it to its population. That was the first step. That showed foresight, that showed readiness to combat this virus. They treated whatever warnings coming out of Hubei with absolute urgency. The next thing is about this. Let's read through this portion over here. As you can see, as a tech major powerhouse, it's no surprise that Taiwan made use of technology, big data. What they did is they actually married their healthcare system and their immigration system. Imagine this: if you're in Singapore, ICA is working together with CPF, where your MediSave runs through. All this information is being tied together. Whoever that is visiting a clinic for healthcare, visiting a hospital for healthcare, that information is registered together with anybody that's going in and out of the borders. This is using big data. This is using technology to fight a virus and be faster than it. It shows over here that if a person went to clinic or doctor's office, this data is generated. Very interesting. And they've actually have text messengers to show, to really track people when they are quarantined or asked to stay at home. Many countries put a lip service to it and now they are paying a price, but Taiwan actually did very strong measures very early on. The second country that's really an example to how to combat COVID-19 is actually South Korea. South Korea, while its numbers look terrible right now, that's the total numbers, but if you look at new cases, you realize that they've actually been above the situation, and this is actually echoed by its minister. As you can see over here, its minister has said that the peak of the coronavirus has passed, and this is the health minister's statement. So definitely there's a lot of credibility. I have some charts towards the end also to show you. And Korea is actually the #1 in terms of testing. So they've tested so many people. They even have a drive-through to allow testing, to allow somebody to stick in a swab deep into the nose to actually do testing so conveniently. And that's really a gold standard that hopefully once the Western countries are able to adopt, they can quickly arrest the situation. Italy, Spain, these countries, if they can take on this kind of gold standard, they have a chance to rebound as quickly as Korea. But the first question also is, why did Korea have such a rapid response to an epidemic? Korea actually suffered massively from MERS. If you can see over here in this chart, back in 2015, they lost many lives. They've actually lost number 2 in terms of number of lives, and that really woke up the society in Korea to combat an epidemic. That is why they are so ready towards it. And as you can see in this chart over here, the numbers have been declining. They really have peaked before the start of March, and they are really a shining example to any Western country that if you are able to arrest the situation, do rapid testing, do quarantines, do isolations, do social distancing, there's a good chance that any society can rebound, even though numbers have started to become on that exponential curve. So that's a second example as to why there's a good chance that COVID-19 can be arrested very successfully. If you look at news today, you realize all the panic, all the lockdown cities, all the worst case situations. Very few actually mention how Korea has turned the tide. Very few actually mention how Taiwan is so successful in warding off numbers until now. So again, let this message go to as many people. Smash the like button so that YouTube algorithm pushes this hope message out to more people that societies can recover faster and the economies can actually recover much faster than expected. At the start of the video, I've also shared where to invest into. And that answer is actually, in my opinion, Asian equities. Simply because in a lot of measures, as you can see in this chart over here, it's inexpensive. Compared to S&P 500, Asian economies are likely going to recover faster simply because the numbers are not so exponential as compared to the Western world. How the world recovers really depends on the Western world. Are they able to adopt aggressive measures? Are they able to fight the virus as well as how Korea and Taiwan has done so? So again, if you like such content, smash on the subscribe button. I'd like to invite you to join our community, become more financially savvy. And again, if you have questions, leave them in the comment sections. I'll pick up each and every one of them. With that, I'll sign off. Take care and goodbye.